What ridiculous thing do people brag about for some reason? I've noticed in mom groups the women like to flex by saying how long their baby or kid hasn't been without them. For example, my kid is 7 and I've never spent a night without her. Story time. Years ago when I was in early teens. That time when parents all take you to their friend's place but you only get to shut up and behave. This one family, dad, mom, eldest daughter, middle son and youngest daughter. Youngest is about 10-12-ish. Started humble brag about what dedicated parents they are. When youngest daughter was born, Insta connection with dad. Everyday sleep with dad. Get this. Head on her father's belly, body perpendicular to him. So those two takes up the entire master bedroom's bed. Mom had to sleep in guest room for 10 years. Yes. All the way until I visited with my parents. I couldn't control myself, but why? I said incredulously. Got pity starred by that mom, and she goes, you really did not have a loving father, did you? How savage they are. AKA how badly they ducked someone over. Some people rise up by improving themselves. Others do it by bringing those around them down. I usually assume the brag is a defense mechanism, show of power to compensate for something. I had a co-worker who thought I was flexing on them by using chopsticks. Plot twist. He was eating Mexican food. At that point, you are just over-flexing. Being OCD, even though they're not obsessive compulsive at all. Like being OCD is some organizational badge of honor. Yes. The casual use of that medical ailment to show how much attention to detail you have is awful. It is not even remotely the same thing. True OCD is not a choice, and it can negatively impact your life in so many serious ways. It is just like people who flippantly say they're bipolar when they just mean they're indecisive. It is so disrespectful to people suffering from the real disease. How little time they have. It is annoying how they did be bewildered about how people would have time to watch films or read books and make comments about how they could never find the time, but then I did see them be on social media for 8+ hours. Yes. They are like, I wish I had time for those completely manageable things. You are so lucky. I am just so busy all the time, every single minute of every single day. I once asked a colleague if she had read anything good lately. Her answer, I can tell you don't have kids. It always boggles my mind how kids of rich parents flex their money. Like you did not do anything. 6 figures, I was only 4. If you were happy and you know it, clap your hands. Not taking vacation days. I hate this workaholic aspect of American culture. We need to change it. While work is obviously important, there is more to life than work and productivity. It is so confusing to me as a Brit. Everyone here always looks forward to their holidays, vacations, and I get hounded by my workplace to make sure I have taken all my annual leave days. I have never heard of someone purposefully not taking their holiday. It is just bonkers to me. When people try to one-up others' struggles with their own, that is, my life is so much worse. It is sad. Really. Why do you need to convince others that you have it harder than them? And they seem to always sound happy discussing it because it makes them feel superior in some way. Maybe that person's issues might not seem big to you, but they're big to that person. In a Yorkshire accent, when I were a lad, we were so poor we ate stones for breakfast, and that were a luxury. Breakfast. We only had stones for breakfast on Christmas. Being a responsible parent. Bitch. That's the minimum standard. I take care of my kids. You are supposed to, you dumb mother ducker. Chris Rock. What you want? A cookie. As a matter of fact, I do want a cookie. People who brag about the amount of weed they can smoke and or how much alcohol they can drink. I brag about how drunk I can get on a small amount of alcohol. Being a lightweight is financially responsible. I envy people who don't need to drink much to get drunk, rise in alcoholic. Here to check if I am being too annoying about anything. Everyone hates everyone. That is my theory. Can confirm. Source me. I hate everyone equally. Pre-pandemic. How sick you were, yet you still made it into work because you were that much more hardcore than the wimps who stay home for any little sniffle. One time this one guy made it into work an hour after being under anesthesia for a colonoscopy. This same guy also came in with a terrible flu and fever that he would go throw up in the bathroom every hour and refused to go home. They think they're so awesome. Yet all they're doing is screwing over the entire office by getting half the employees sick, and the other half left to pick up the slack and work double time. Duck those type of people. Thank goodness that stuff does not lie these days. Me and a lot of my friends are convinced that COVID made its way through my school's sophomore and junior class. Because literally everyone in those grades last February-March got violently ill for a while. We all thought it was just like a super contagious flu. But in hindsight it has a possibility that it was the virus. Whether it was COVID or not. It was because some asshole came to school knowing that they were sick as a dog and made everyone else suffer for weeks. I hope that if people are going to continue coming in sick after the pandemic is over, that they can at least be considerate to wear a mask. I know I will. Are you talking high school? Is it possible that it was not so much your classmates as their parents making them go to school? Some parents are so focused on perfect attendance or not having their kids miss school and class they have the whole well, unless you are dying you are going to school attitude. Professors bragging about how many students fail their class. They use it to terrorize students and wear it as though it is a badge of honor. It is unbelievable how full they are of themselves, that not once did they ever pause and ponder if the failing rate was due to their lacking. Well, just like that one viral post said, I guess congratulations to you Madam Sir. You suck at your job. Additionally, it irks me when some professors think of themselves highly because they have all these degrees and got off from a great university, and so on, to the point that they are completely dismissive and unreasonably mean. Like, come on, you're not even that competent. You cannot teach to save a life, let alone actually educate us, and yet you have the nerve to be totally inconsiderate and boastful. I had one that bragged about how he never had a class average higher than 75%. Like, dude, that is bad. How many kids they have? When I was a waitress we had a cook who crowed about how he had 12 kids by multiple women. That is not something to be proud of. My dude, you are a deadbeat dad 12 times over. That is just bragging about debt from child support and being a deadbeat who cannot wrap his dick. How they don't read. Who is bragging about this and why would they think this is a positive attribute? There was a common attitude among my classmates that reading is for losers and nerds only. I still meet adults who say crap like LOL I never read a book. If it is that good, they will make a movie about it anyway. High schoolers who tried to flex the expensive overpriced clothing that their parents bought for them. I have a friend 24 years old who constantly brags about his 500 jeans and 300 hoodies and Apple Watches. Dude still lives with his parents. I do not even understand the brag. Like, congrats. You wasted a ton of money on some clothes. Just makes the person sound stupid to me. He sounds very stupid when he forces the phrase Apple Watch into sentences. Straight up says poop like let me check the time on my Apple Watch and every time I want to scream. People who brag about how little sleep they got. Is that actual bragging or complaining for the sake of receiving sympathy though? I mean, I know people who sometimes complain about lack of sleep. I never really saw it as bragging. High school and college is really the peak time for it. It becomes complaining and a plea for understanding afterwards. Sometimes it is a competition though. Man, I only got 4 hours of sleep last night. Dude, I only got 2. I used to know a guy who would brag about all the girls he slept with behind his girlfriend's back. Congrats on the STDs and complete lack of the concept of commitment, I guess. This just makes me mad. If you want to get STDs then go ahead. But when you are cheating and then having sex with your partner as well, you are not only being a cuntwood by cheating, you are ducking putting them at risk of STDs that they did not choose to be at risk for. Mine is a bit specific, but women who brag on their BFS husbands for babysitting their own kids to give them a break. Raise your expectations on what a good father is, ladies. For example, here is one I saw on FB. Wife, I am so lucky. Name of husband has agreed to babysit our girls today. Yes, a shrewd negotiator though, he is getting some special attention from me tonight so I can get some time out of the house. Can't he wait? Thanks, name of husband. I know the husband, he works part-time and usually when he is not working, he is out with friends while his wife is home with their 302yo. The bar is set so low for some guys that occasionally watching their own children is cause for celebration reward. This is so ducking annoying. How are you watching the kids anyway? You're the damn father. You are supposed to take of your kids. Get with the program. Jeez. I hate it when they take my boys to the playground and some random woman is like, hey WW, you are giving mom a break today, huh? No lady. I am not giving anyone a break. I am parenting. It is so condescending to the dads too. Insults the heck out of my husband. No. I am parenting because he is my kid and I wanted him to be in the world. His mom is not his own parent. Mental issues. Like I've known people to literally fake mental problems cause they think it's cute or quirky or something. It's not something people should want to have. It ruins your life. PLS stop. Because of those people it makes it difficult to say you have mental health problems without making it seem like you are looking for attention. Right. It's awful. I have PTSD and I cringe to myself when I say the word triggered as in something or someone triggered a flashback or attack because fakers ruined that word for me. Even just typing it I feel shitty. Like it's a joke. I hate the people who fake illnesses so damn much. When someone brags about liking a group or artist before they were cool even though they had 200k followers, bragging about it is annoying. But it is nice to see someone you appreciate growing in success and recognition. How many bananas they can eat in one sitting? I am interested. 7 bananas. I had a colleague that would always mention how their truck has 4-wheel drive, as if no other car does. My rule about 4-wheel drive is that you get 1 week to brag about it after you buy the car and you can also talk about it the first 2 times the 4-wheel drive is useful. I have got 2 that bother me. The I do not know anything about computers. People. And the I never read. People. I work in IT and I have legitimately had to teach an adult how to use a mouse. A Gorham store manager. Who needs to use the computer probably about 65% of his day. Do not brag about never updating your skills to keep up with your industry. He only lasted a month before they fired him for being incompetent. And the I never read people drive me nuts. Because I read as often as I can. And they often interrupt me while I am reading on my break just to brag about how they never read. Shut up and leave me alone. I am busy. My dad is in IT and has his fair share of stories. Honestly, if you want to be good at computers, just learn how to Google. Think about how you phrase your question and do not expect the first result to instantly fix your problem. It blows my mind how many people cannot Google their issue. People who brag about not knowing anything about computers do not want to learn. They think they are entitled to everyone around them doing their work for them when they cannot be ducked learning how to copy her into an email. Yeah. Susan. You are a moron if you cannot do something I explained to you 15 times. You scream at the new guy if he does not get something the second time. Why is it different for you? Hate people like that. Being an asshole. I never understood the appeal of being a self-proclaimed asshole. My uncle says he likes to mess with people by finding their weaknesses and using them to piss people off. This immediately made me think of him. How much they can drink. Depending out your local drinking age. This usually lasts only 3 years past that. Yeah, I've never heard people brag about this once we got past the first couple years of uni. More so I now brag about how little I drink to get drunk. Saving that. How good of an athlete they were in high school. How much you wanna make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains. Yeah. Coach Wilder put me in 4th quarter. We would have been state champions. No doubt. No doubt in my mind. Scrolled hoping to see this. Thanks. How they are not into whatever is popular. And that somehow makes them better. I was one of those people. I missed out on some fun things that I'm just now getting into. Playing devil's advocate here. But for me, discovering a new hobby interest and figuring it out on my own is a huge part of the appeal. If something is so popular that I feel like I already know it before even starting, that is a huge turn-off. But do you loudly announce it at parties when the popular thing gets mentioned? It is the bragging that is obnoxious. Being tall. When you were in the 6th grade, it is cool. When you were 35, it just means you cannot find pants that fit quite right. Or dress shirts with appropriately long sleeves. Buy the shirt for the sleeves. Have the tailor taken the 9 yards of extra fabric at the bottom.